I've honestly never been more excited to shoot a video. One of the biggest questions I get is, where is the best steakhouse in Denver? And honestly, I haven't made a video on it because I haven't had a good answer. I have ideas, but I haven't known enough. So the only logical option is do some research and get it figured out. I'm gonna be going to, I think, 8 steakhouses on the list. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna keep it really simple. Get a New York strip at each place, take in the ambiance, talk about prices and other food a little bit, but it's really about the steak. I cannot wait. And we're starting here, Mickey's Top Sirloin. I'm meeting my friend Joe here. Hi, Joe.
All right, Mickey's is an old school joint way up north, kind of North Broadway and 36. And yes, it is connected to a liquor store. Joe Marchi, my friend, is the first person who ever brought me here, so I figured I'd go back with her. We are here at lunch. It is quiet, but it's a lovely, lovely establishment, and the service is tremendous. You were saying?
Look, Shelly is a professional waitress, okay? Mm-hmm. She knows what she's doing. She's out here off the highway.
Yep. We got our old fashions here. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, yes.
As I was saying, Shelly does not mess around, okay? She knows what she's doing. She repeated the order back. Not one thing is going to be incorrect. This is going to be nailed.
Now, when you look at the menu, the alarm bells might be going off because, yes, it's top sirloin. It's got steaks, but it also has Mexican and Italian. But we're focused on the steaks today. I'm getting New York strip everywhere, and the New York strip is coming in at $31. Plus, it comes with a little chowder and salad with pepperoni.
Down home, no frills. The people here know why they're here.
Jello shots.
I mean, look at this. Jello shots. It's amazing. Are we going to go to the fancy places? Yes, of course we will. We'll get bougie on this video, but I wanted to start at a true working man's and woman's steakhouse.
Steak shows up super quickly, along with a baked potato and like a half pound of butter on it. Marchi decided to get a kebab situation with pineapple. Apparently she doesn't like steak in the middle of the day, but I do. Here's the New York strip. It looks better than I expected, and the cook is good. Medium rare-ish.
The fat strip is excellent, very flavorful. There is a bit of a phantom flavor. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's almost like a thyme seasoning, a little nutty, little earthy. It's interesting. I'm about to get into this baked potato too, but I'm gonna finish the steak. But for right now, I'm gonna say 6.8. 6.8. Better than I expected.
I get halfway through and figure I gotta have Marchi try it too.
Okay. Joe's trying the New York strip. We're gonna get her a live reaction. No pressure. Take your time.
I do enjoy the mystery spice.
Okay, are you tasting it too?
I am. I feel like it could just be like their grill. You know, whatever remnants are on there.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's like just seasoned.
Yeah.
Seasoned.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's melty. It's delicious. It's good texture.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't have to chew very hard, which is always a good sign.
That was fantastic. If you are into a solid steak and a great experience, Mickey's worth a visit. Come on up.
For stop number 2, we are doing something very different.
All right, for this stop, I'm downtown, checking out Garden Grace, very ballyhooed steakhouse, right downtown Denver, 18th California, Troy Guard, very well-known chef. Been here once, but want to try it again, so I'm headed in for an early dinner.
I am meeting my friend and fellow real estate professional, Cameron Howard, who is nothing if not enthusiastic, and it's a nice place. We're there for early dinner. It's got classic steakhouse vibe, a little elevated, like slightly modern steakhouse. We do get a half dozen oysters, because why the hell not? And rolls. The rolls are great. Now, like an idiot, I forgot to get video of the menu, so I'm just grabbing this photo here. Sorry, that kind of sucks. But we're seeing difference in prices, right? I'm getting the New York strip. This is just a prime cut. This is now Wagyu or grass-fed. Of course, I'm getting the 8 ounce. It's $50, so it's not a ton, but it's only 8 ounces. Because they come in this baseball style at Garden Grace. It's the only place on the list where they do it like this, but this is how they do New York strips. We also get some sides with the broccolini and the Brussels sprouts, and it's always way too much. Cameron goes with the filet Oscar style. Good choice. There it is, cut in the middle. I'm gonna say perfect medium rare. Okay. It is baseball style here at Garden Gray's New York Strip. It is fantastic. I gotta say, excellent crust, cooked perfectly. 8.6. 8.6.
Still hot from the oven, cooked perfectly. A little bit of crab on top.
What do you think?
Unbelievable.
Yeah?
I think best in the city.
Best in the city? Let's go. Got my leftovers. First time I went to Garden Grace, this was a while ago. I remember it being obscenely salty, and I didn't know. Might have been what I ordered. Might have been a special. Might have just been that night. But this was not. This was perfectly salty. And what did I give it? 8.6. It's a great steak. Great steak. This next one may surprise you a little bit because it's a chain. And if you've watched what I've done before, talking about Denver restaurants, I don't usually use chains because there's like 20 national locations. Doesn't seem like a Denver restaurant too much. But the corporate steakhouse is where my opinion on that differs. I believe the corporate steakhouse serves a vital role in the American economy. Professor Tim Dillon has talked about this at length. Go check out his stuff on it. It's very, very good. And the corporate steakhouse is much more so than other chain restaurants, remarkably consistent and actually kind of good. So we're gonna hit up one. We're gonna hit up Eddie V's. All right, that's the corporate steakhouse we chose. It's in the tech center, which is perfect for a corporate steakhouse vibe because tech center, it's like every time I'm in the tech center, it's kind of just like, you know, this is nice. It's consistent, somewhat boring, kind of like a chain steakhouse. So Eddie V's is the corporate steakhouse on the list. And I gotta go because it's my anniversary and Kristen's waiting. Coming. God bless this woman for letting me do this on my anniversary, but it's a nice steakhouse. It could be worse. They take us over to our table and the hospitality begins, and that is one thing about Eddie V's, is the hospitality here was tremendous. Similar old school steakhouse vibe. You got the prime steaks on the menu there. Filet mignon is tempting, but I must get the New York strip, so it's gonna have to be 18 ounces of prime, $65. Look at that, really rolling out the red carpet. Okay, it's just a little card with some hearts, but it's a nice little touch, and the drinks are on point here. That is my old fashioned. There are some huge prawns and some salad before we get into the good stuff.
The bread, A+.
First review from Mrs. Newman, and look at that beautiful hunk of meat. Oh, I could almost cry. I don't usually get bone in, but this is how they serve it, and there are the sides, a necessity. Smell excellent.
It looks cooked medium rare.
Yep. Good. Very good. The potatoes are insanely cheesy, and I'm going to say that's a good thing. So Kristen was just saying it seems more like a filet than a strip, which is interesting. A lot of people would consider that a compliment.
It seems more lean, like a filet, than a strip. I like the fatty pieces, like a little fat to meat ratio,
right?
And I'm not getting that here.
Okay. So what's your rating?
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
I think she's close. It's a very good steak. I'm not gonna say it's a great steak. But the bar's high. It's a great experience here at Eddie V's, but I'm going 7.8. 7.8 from there. It's good. And look at this, complimentary champagne after dinner. They did go above and beyond. This was the best steakhouse experience on the list. Maybe not the best steak as far as rating, but look at the free happy anniversary dessert. For a corporate steakhouse, for a chain, really, really impressed with the hospitality. And once again, we are switching things up in considerable fashion for the next one. Next stop, we're on one of the most fun
eventful, if you will, streets in Denver. Colfax, baby. Colfax to Bastien's, home of the sugar steak. This is an old school joint, but it's still good. I've been once. I'm here right at opening time at 4 o'clock. I'm gonna meet my buddy Jessica Abeg, business partner, friend, fellow realtor extraordinaire. Can't wait. Let's do a matinee.
I head inside and find Abeg just chilling at the bar. She doesn't drink, so she's doing what we do, which is do business on the phone while we're in the middle of something else. We both finish up our phone calls and get led to a table at an empty but beautiful restaurant. It just opened. Here is the menu. They got the filet. They got the culotte. I don't know how to. Anyway, New York strip. You can get 10 ounce for $36 or 16 ounce for $41. To me, that's a no-brainer. And I know I said I wasn't doing any styles, just straight New York strip, but here it's really all about the sugar steak. You got to get the sugar rub. So that's what I'm going to do.
Abeg, we made it.
We made it.
Bastien's. We're the only people here. But I kind of
Nobody would have known that if you hadn't said it.
I already took shots of good place. So you've lived in this neighborhood for a long time.
I have lived in all directions of this neighborhood for
Yes.
a very long time.
And are you excited about the steak?
I'm so excited about this steak. Now, I was just telling Sam, I was a vegetarian for 20 years. I missed this steak for 20 years, so I'm making up for lost time.
They bring out breadsticks with a little like cinnamon butter thing. Very delicious to whet the appetite. And Abeg doesn't drink, so I'm going mocktail. It's very sugary.
I'm gonna interview you. No, you've been here for how many generations?
5, but what do you want to know about Colfax? My history on Colfax?
So I have a mixed relationship with Colfax because it's our seediest street, right? But it's also a lot of fun.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And there are places like this that are old. But your thoughts is that you're like a light Denver historian. So your thoughts?
No, I like that. I like Denver historian. So, okay, Colfax has got a really, really, really mixed reputation, just like you said, because it is our longest street in the country, right? It goes all the way into the mountains. It was the thoroughfare for all the motor traffic in the 50s. So a lot of it out west is littered with old motels because it's where everybody stopped. Now it goes all the way miles and miles and miles and miles east as well. So in Denver, though, it's always had a very storied reputation, colorful reputation for kind of attracting all different walks of life, good, bad, and the ugly, and more of the latter two than the first one.
Bless
and
us.
this particular location of Bastien's has been here through it all and has seen all the different iterations and has always been a really popular Denver staple and has been a destination place for people to come to. So it has stood the test of time and the rise and fall and rise and fall and rise and fall of Colfax.
Here is the steak. Look at that, glistening. Sides are included, by the way. That's something worth noting. And you can see the sugar rub. The sugar steak, they actually won't even cook any more than medium rare. And this one is perfect.
All right. So the sugar rub, it's a special. I'm gonna come a little closer because of audio. Special sugar rub, so it's different. But this is the home of the sugar steak, so I have to do the sugar rub here. But still, New York strip, good. It is. It's different, but it's very, very good, especially for being on Colfax. I'm gonna go.
I'm trying to find somebody. Okay, you know what? I'm not.
7.2, strong score. Before, good. Now, what do you think, Abeg?
Okay, so my standards I think might be a little bit lower than yours, there, Sam. So I'm gonna give it a 9 because I eat steak like next to never, so it's the best steak I've had all year.
The other thing is, it's cooked very, very well. That's just another thought I have. It's a great medium rare. I love it here. Most of these steaks, they won't even cook them more than medium rare. So I may want to bump up my rating. I don't know, I'll think it over.
Yep, thought about it. 7.2 was way too low. It's a good steak. 7.8 is the answer. Moving on, we are going from Colfax to Federal for Columbine Steakhouse and Lounge. This one was fun. It's one of a kind. It's cash only. And my buddy Chaz was game to meet me here.
Chaz, how do you feel about this visit today?
I'm excited.
Have you ever been to Columbine Steakhouse and Lounge?
First time. Long-time follower, first time diner, I guess. I don't know.
You go in and it's fun. You can see the gentleman cooking up the steaks right there on the griddle. You notice the menu. It is way cheaper than anything else on this list. A New York strip is $21. Cash only. It is quite the experience. I think everybody should go once at least. We go over to the lounge side of Columbine Steakhouse and Lounge to dine there. Yes, it's the middle of the day, but it's a lounge, so, you know, fire up the makers. We got a little steak sauce over there. We got Chaz's drink.
A1 right there.
Yes.
We'll catch up.
Okay, so Chaz, you decided to go with the burger.
I went the burger today.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's midday. You're not ready for a porterhouse.
Well, I was gonna let you take the risk on that.
And there she is. Not the most impressive looking steak I've seen, but for the price, you get it. And Columbine Steakhouse and Lounge, this is different. They're not trying to be Eddie V's. Baked potato is fire. It's really good. Half potato, half butter. But I'll take it. You're probably seeing similarities between Columbine here and Mickey's earlier on the list, and I wouldn't blame you for it. We're having such a good time. It's Maker's number 2, and we are getting in to the steak and the burger. The burger is gone.
Burger's gone.
Your thoughts?
Really solid. Like, surprisingly solid. Don't really know what to expect getting into it.
Sure.
But that first bite was an amazing first bite. It was like the classic griddle onion flavor that you expect at a place like this. Would recommend, honestly, one of the best burgers I've had in Denver.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta come back and get the burger.
Aren't you kidding?
Maybe still get it today.
Yeah. Yeah, not too late.
And as one would expect, I go to town on the steak.
All right, Sam, you've had a couple bites. How are you feeling about that steak?
Significantly better than I expected. Even looking at it, it's not the highest quality cut beef, right? But it's got a great griddle flavor, right? Or a great grill flavor. You just feel a char. It reminds me of the best version of your dad's backyard Weber grill steak growing up, right? Like I even thought it was a little overcooked. It's a medium rare. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm gonna go because we're doing ratings. 6.4, but it earned every bit. That's 6.4. And the potato is a 9. The last thought that I had that I have to mention, it's remarkably tender. I didn't expect it to be this tender either. And so if this was the last steak I had for the rest of my life, I'd be okay. Like, if this was what I would, not the last one, no, I'd be terrified. But if this was the steak I was going to eat forever, I'd be all right.
Honestly, you gotta try this place at least once. Leaving Columbine Steakhouse and Lounge. Final thought, really glad we went. Shout out to Chaz for making that journey with me. The other thing I didn't mention, and I showed the menu, but how inexpensive it is compared to other steakhouses. Our meal, just for food, before we got drinks, because we got drinks later, was $38 for both of them. $38. Balling on a budget, Columbine. And we return south for perhaps the bougiest stop on the list.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go.
And we got to do Shanahan's. Yes, we're back at the tech center. We were here before for Eddie V's. This is not really a corporate steakhouse, though. Mike Shanahan. It's got a corporate steakhouse vibe. I've been once. It was very, very good. If you see the camera movements and you've watched this channel before, you know who's with me. Swanson.
Yeah!
Let's eat. Bringing Swanson along ensures we'll have the best camera movements possible. Look at that beautiful bar right when you walk into Shanahan's. It's an impressive venue. I mean, they got Lombardi trophies in there. It's a nice place for a date, Super Bowl rings, and we get a few cocktails and get going on the bread. We're actually here at night, so I feel more reasonable about drinking martinis. They sat us by the fireplace. Life is good. The menu. Okay, so they're not giving anything away here. You can take a look. Prime New York strip, $75. I think that's coming in the most on the list. You can get the Wagyu, the dry aged, whatever. I'm just going straight strip. You know how it is. Yes, there are sauces, but I believe sauces are for cowards. Swanson gets the bone-in filet.
Swanee, Shanahan's. On a Thursday, it's bumping.
The initial presentation of rolling into Shanahan's. 3, 2, 1. Oh, food's here.
Food's here. All right, everybody be cool.
Oh, and we did get the hamachi sashimi as an appetizer.
The initial thought about coming into Shanahan's, first of all, the presentation, the lobby is fantastic. The vibe here is great. It's a Thursday night and it is packed. And we started off with a little sashimi, and I can't wait to do chopsticks at a steak restaurant.
Yeah, buddy.
MSG.
I'm just adding on to what you said. It just feels, it has weight to it. This place, high ceilings, grandiose lobby.
You feel like a big hitter here?
I feel like I'm gonna have to be after I looked at the menu.
The steak comes a la carte. The presentation is fantastic. Look at that thing.
I can feel the heat coming off the plate. This is tremendous right now. We got a strip, here, bone and fillet.
Yep, more on the rare side, but that ain't a problem for me.
Sam, thoughts?
Really freaking good. It's the waitress said we err on the side of undercooked, which I appreciate. So this is almost a black and blue, but it's more of a RMR. Rare going on to medium rare. The flavor is excellent. I'm gonna say 8.2.
Just eat it. You eat it.
No, how's the fillet? Eat it.
Filet is fantastic.
Is it good?
Maybe a little horseradish, but I feel like that would ruin it because it's perfectly cooked. It's awesome. The dim lighting helps.
We take our time savoring. It is a savory steak. It is significant, substantial, savory. Look at that. Swanson went to town. Clean Plate Club over here.
Okay, we're leaving Shanahan's. What are your thoughts?
I would say A, solid A.
Yep.
Presentation, atmosphere,
Yep.
service,
Yep.
taste, everything.
Everything
A.
is good.
And we switch things up yet again to go by the light rail stop to maybe the oldest establishment in town, depending on who you ask. I bring the youngest guests so far, my children, Connor and James, and hey, Kristen's back too. It's a family affair here at the Buckhorn Exchange. You've been around Denver at all, you've heard of this place. Tons of taxidermy on the wall. It's an old stop for prospectors on the railway. It is checkered tablecloths. It's a much different vibe, but extremely unique. There's nothing there like it, and it's a great place to take children. They bring you tons of bread. We're gonna go ahead and work on buttering our roll and wait to order. The menu is like a newspaper type thing. Everything here is unique. So they have quail, they have wild game, they have elk and lamb, they have Rocky Mountain oysters. This place is for the adventurous, but we're doing a steak. So I could get the 16-ounce New York strip for $64, but Kristen and I decide to split the big steak. This is their specialty. This is something they've been serving for years. For two guests, we just went with 1.5 pounds for $110. Not cheap. Comes with a nice butternut squash soup, and the presentation is probably the best part. Okay, so if you get the big steak, not the normal steaks, but the big steak, they come here and they slice it in half. This is the steak for two, cutting it here tableside. I should probably shut up because it's just, I mean, this is beautiful. I'll let it speak for itself. They do throw on the garlic herb butter, and the sides are included along with mushrooms and onions. That's pretty.
Cooked very well, actually more rare than medium rare, like you pointed out.
Thanks, Connor.
The crust is solid on the top part, and the presentation and atmosphere and fun. Yeah, 8.5. Yeah, that's it. Atmosphere is actually a little strange. It's early, come early, but very quiet in here. That's why I'm whispering.
I think it needed more salt, and I like more of a crust. Overall, there was a crust on the top and on the bottom. I guess that's the way it was cut. Also, I prefer a little more fat on my strip.
Because of
It's just my opinion. Steak.
And then, of course, after eating a little bit, we got to head upstairs to check out the old bar. Beautiful bar up there. And a little more taxidermy, because all the way at the end of the hall, there is a bear. Actually, a few bears. And so, again, if you got kids or just people from out of town who like something fun, this is a great stop. It's a feeling of the old West.
So yeah, ambiance, service, very good. Steak, realistically, 6.1. Buckhorn Exchange, not known for the food so much. So great experience if you haven't been. Great place to bring out of towners. Not where I'd go for a steak.
And for the final stop of our journey, we are back downtown to the one place that everybody told me I had to go, A5 Steakhouse. This is newer. This is right downtown. It's a really cool eclectic vibe. It's modern and open and has a lot of vines. Here's a look at the menu. They do have Japanese A5 strip loin, 4 ounce for $115. I won't be doing that. I will be getting a Japanese curry poutine appetizer. They also have entrees, which you can take a look at, and the steaks. So, no straight New York strip here. There is one. It's a bone-in for 2 for $130. This is my last stop, and so I am just here by myself. And so I'm gonna get the Denver steak, which is much more reasonable. It's a cross between a New York strip and a ribeye to me. I order a Manhattan and enjoy a dinner alone. The poutine comes, it's beautiful, it's delicious, it's way too much for one person to eat. I take in the ambiance, try not to look at my phone, and just try to enjoy my surroundings and be present. The Denver steak comes, it's not super big, but I'm not super hungry, so that's perfect. They do serve steaks pre-sliced. I dig in and give it a shot. I'm gonna voice this thing over because, talking to a phone in public is weird, but by yourself, it's even weirder. But I feel very comfortable eating steak anywhere, and it's good. Honestly, flavor-wise, I was expecting something just a little bit more based on how hyped up it was. It's the Denver steak. Okay, I didn't get the prime A5 sirloin. I didn't get the big strip for 2. Very good steak, cooked well. Who are we kidding? I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Great experience, especially for a solo diner. I head back into the night and give my thoughts. All right, so I'm here with my to-go bag of poutine, which was great and way too much for one person to eat. I don't know. It was great. It was great. It was a great experience. I don't know if it was that it had been hyped up so much. I don't know if it was because it was a Denver steak and not a New York strip. Still love the cut. Service was fantastic. Steak, 7.9. Very good. I was expecting something a little bit higher, but it was very good. Maybe I should have tried the sauces. It's hard to judge anything in a vacuum. But A5, I'm a fan. All right, so to recap, taking home the hardware at the #1 spot, Guard and Grace downtown. 8.6. We're ranking the steaks here. We talk about the steakhouse and the ambiance and everything else, but pure steak ratings, Guard and Grace, best in town. Just behind it, #2, Shanahan's, 8.2. If you want something more modern, Garden Grace is where it's at. If you want a classic steakhouse vibe that's very, very nice, Shanahan's. Rounding out the top 3, A5 at a 7.9. Like I said, my suspicion was that was going to be #1 on the list. 7.9, lovely experience. Next on the list, tied, Eddie V's at 7.8 and Bastien's at 7.8. Okay, they both get a 7.8, much different experiences, 2 very worthy steakhouses. You should go to both. After that, Mickey's, 6.8, workmanlike but got it done. Columbine, the humble Columbine Steakhouse, not last on the list, 6.4. And bringing up the rear, purely in terms of steak quality, is Buckhorn Exchange at 6.1. Sorry guys, but I do love you. I want to thank you for watching this self-indulgent journey. I am tired, I am full, and I will see you next time.